So the expected reception for the Roosters, Jared Waerea-Hargreaves back in the lineup. The big dog, he's been out for 5 games because of a hamstring, and a run-on opportunity for Matthew Lodge tonight too, Gus. So there's a bit of aggression up front.
It certainly is. Gives them good size, power, some skill. On the home side, the Newcastle Knights, well, in their last 5 games, they've conceded more than 40 points 3 times. That's their Achilles heel. Not to mention not having the same lineup very often week to week with injuries. Get a couple back tonight, a couple missing, but it's defensively where they need to aim up if they want to be a chance of beating the Roosters tonight. They did cause the big upset in round 1 though, didn't they?
Yeah.
They weren't expected to match it with the Roosters, and they beat them quite comfortably, so there'll be some good feels going through the fellas that were in that game.
You got to think, you're talking about their defence, just having Jaden Brayley. A lot of people will talk about the fluency you get out of a consistent hooker in attack. But they do a lot of work in defence as well. Very important.
And that result that you talk about back in round 1, Newcastle 20, Roosters 6, bucked a trend of horror results for Newcastle against the Roosters. In the 4 meetings before that, the margins of victory for the Roosters had been 20, 38, 34. So we're underway here, and Newcastle need to win every game for the remainder of the year to give themselves a chance of finals. And as I mentioned earlier, for the Roosters, they have a chance to sneak inside the 8. Now, Daniel Tupou, 5 tries in his last 5 games against Newcastle. Verrill's the dummy half, and Waerea-Hargreaves, one of those players that engenders confidence into a team. When he runs out with you, you know you've got someone there who's going to give everything to support you. Now Radley, who ran for over a couple of 100 metres himself against the Dragons last week, just short of the halfway. Walker wearing the 7, and Luke Keary the 6 this evening in their partnership so far in 2022. It's been the other way around. Early penalty here, Edric Lee fighting with Waerea-Hargreaves in the ruck, and some enthusiasm there for Newcastle. They come running in. A real popular figure in the Newcastle club, Edric Lee. All right, let's go to Darren Lock here. Good evening to you. The rain, it's been pretty consistent right around the state of New South Wales this week, but the ground looks great.
Yeah, evening, Tomo. We might have dodged a bullet here. It's actually a very pleasant night in Newcastle. The ground looks great. It's 15 degrees, which is a little bit warmer than what we've been used to over the last 6 weeks, but there's a little bit of a breeze coming from the east. Now, I think that will make the wind swirl in this stadium. Joey always says that it comes from the west to the east, the wind swirls, so torpedo bombs might be a challenge tonight for fullbacks.
Might see a few torpedoes raining down. Thanks, Darren. Now, Barnett for Newcastle. The most encouraging start for the home team here. They look pumped up. And now Milford, and away for Ponga. Frizzell on an angle. And he's dropped down there by Butcher. 15 metres out. Another set restart. Plenty of early ball for Newcastle. Milford for Clemmer. He's having a fine year in a team that's been soundly beaten, running for 151 metres and averaging 34 tackles a game. The old warhorse David Clemmer. Clune gives it away. Daniel Saifiti wrapped up by Angus Crichton within 6 of the line. Barnett. Butcher with another tackle. Play 3 here for the Knights. Brayley and Fitzgibbon out the back. Suwali. The young kid motoring away. Now Ponga gets across there. Suwali steps, gives it to Tedesco. Tedesco in a foot race. Frizzell from behind. Dragged him down, and Tedesco lost the ball. That's stirring stuff by Tyson Frizzell.
What about the footwork here on Suwali? When he got the ball, I thought, we'll see how fast he is. But there were Newcastle Knights defenders with the angle. But watch the footwork here. And I think, if anything, if Tedesco wasn't there, he probably would have continued on. Watch this. Bang. Bang. And he saw Tedesco. I think had he gone himself, he'd have promoted even more. Tedesco sort of loomed up on him really quickly, and then the point of the ball hits the knee of the Newcastle defender, and he loses possession.
Well, Lachlan Fitzgibbon broke the golden rule. He went to the line, turned his back to the defence and threw the ball out blindly. And he hit the wrong player, Joseph Sawali.
Oh,
an athlete.
The chase from Tyson. He's run down Teddy.
Well, they had the angle on them, the Newcastle players. I thought, well, this will be good. Let's see how fast Suwali is. And the cover defence had the angle, but how easily he beat them. Do you agree, Bradley? If Tedesco hadn't learned up the way he does, I think Suwali keeps going.
Well, Teddy blocked him, blocked his angle. I was surprised on the high shot how many Newcastle Knights were back there. That's a great sign for them.
Yeah, they look up for this, don't they?
That was an attacking shot to the left-hand side. You think everyone would have been pushing up. There were 4 or 5 players back there in defence.
Only 5 wins for the year. But they are at home on a Friday, and there's the first of the spiral bombs, and it's taken by Daniel Tupou, but Milford was floored after he kicked it, and so there will be a penalty where the ball landed or where it was caught. In this instance, it'll be on the Roosters' 10-metre line.
Well, we're only 5 minutes into the game and already... Oh, seriously?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, the Roosters have been given penalised twice and a 6 again. Yeah.
It's on report too.
Anthony might have to get a HIA.
It was announced this week that he will head to the Dolphins for 2 years. So they're going to have a shot here, it looks like, Newcastle. No score yet. Okay, so we've just missed that kick, but as you'd expect, with Kalen Ponga being as sharp with the boot as he is, 2-0. Newcastle opting against continuing with their attack there, and they've taken the 2 points. So a penalty goal buffer after 6 minutes.
It's not a bad tactic. The Roosters have already given away 2 penalties. If they're in that type of mood where they just want to stall the game and give some penalties away, then taking goals and going up by 2s isn't always the worst thing.
Oh, Clemmer hit hard by Waria Hargreaves. And now Edric Lee runs into the teeth of the Roosters' defence, the sharp teeth of Butcher and also Lodge. There's a strong run. Oh, that's an unyielding run, that one. Daniel Saifiti within 15 of the halfway. And now Barnett, and there's no nonsense in his ball running. And Ponga. Oh, loose arm by Lodge this time. This is an undisciplined start by the Roosters. Just clipped him high. Low impact, but high. Yes, Darren?
Yeah, Ponga, he's looked sharp early. Oh, he's going to have to come off here by the look of it. The trainer's just said he's got to be looked at, given his history of head knocks recently, so that's a bit of a shame for Newcastle. He was looking sharp. And Matt Lodge, he was the one that he was just beaten, and it was, I guess, a lazy arm, but Kalen's off, but he was looking sharp. He was getting involved around the ruck area instead of being out wide. He was getting his hands on the ball a bit like he did in Origin 3. But anyway, he's got 15 minutes to get assessed. We'll get Danica to follow it up.
Sorry, Lockie, he looks pretty despondent, Kalen, actually.
Without a doubt, when the first contact, there was a reaction.
So Phoenix Crossland, who came into the Newcastle squad when Kurt Mann dropped out late in the week. There'll be a shuffle up for Adam O'Brien's men. Whether he'll go to fullback. So keep an eye on that.
Up Jared, Matt! That's got my weight go on.
So Brayley and Clemmer. Pull down centre of the 10. Brayley sends it away. And Clune to Milford. Milford nearly in between a hole there.
Up now, Drew! Go on!
Keary with the tackle. Hutchison with the assist. 3 metres out from the line. Gagai sends a deep pass back to Clune. Now Daniel Saifiti. Struggling with the defence. Gets up within 4 metres. Brayley, wrap around. We saw a good one last night. And he passed it straight into Dane Gagai. They're arguing he was tackled without the ball there. The Newcastle side, not only was that not agreed with, they've given away a penalty the other way.
And I think it's Anthony Milford that may have gone to fullback. Phoenix Crossland into the halves.
It's been a while since Anthony Milford's played fullback, I would have thought.
Well, that's where it all started, at Canberra, as a fullback.
Well, that may be where he defends, and he comes into the play at other areas.
He was in the front line the first tackle because he took Luke Keary on.
Well, there he is, out the back.
He might be going to cover a bit more ground than he thought at the start of the night, Anthony Milford. So Verrills away, Keary. Good to see him back out there. He's been out for quite some time because of that concussion.
Even better, it's good to see that he's on the left side of the field. I can never understand when he was playing that he was on the right side. May have been an experiment, but he's on his favoured left side tonight, and that really excites me.
He's walking out. Stabs one up in the air. Tupou! Oh, he didn't want to catch it and put it down. He tried to play with the ball back in field.
Well, he got 2 hands to it. Why wouldn't he catch it?
It looked like he was in a perfect position to catch that and have a dash at the line himself.
I think he lost where the sideline was. He thought he was going over the sideline. He seemed to have plenty of space.
So here's Hymel Hunt, who's making his first appearance of the season. He's been out with a knee injury and also some facial fractures. Well, he's a journeyman, but a handy player. Now Tuala off the Crossland pass. Put down 16 metres, the Roosters side of the halfway. And Barnett. Lodge around the legs, Butcher up top, Radley part of it too. Clue now. And Milford, he's going to kick for Gagai. And Tupou turns and chases, and the Roosters are fortunate they've got a 6'7" winger there because that bounced quite sharply and might have bounced over a shorter winger's head, but he takes it out, so more pressure to be administered on the Roosters' defence here.
They didn't wait till the last tackle for the kick. James Tedesco was up in the line, plenty of space in behind the left side of the Roosters' defence. There's a nice distance, short drop out.
Short drop out, and Tupou versus Gagai, knocked back by Gagai, who scraps for the ball and wins it for his team. What's the possession count here? It's 65% in favour of the Knights. Only the penalty goal to show for it just at the moment.
Extra 40 tackles.
It's a lot of juice early on.
13 minutes into a game.
Milford now, and Fitzgibbon.
Tackle 3, Nat Butcher. You've got to go for HIA, mate. The independent bunker has just come through. I couldn't tell you, James, but that's what I've just been told, mate.
Well, Nat Butcher early went to the line, and I thought he copped a hit high.
He's got to go off, mate. Independent bunker, he's got to go.
Well, that's saying it must be a grade 2 at least. Yeah, when he had the ball, he went forward and it looked like he was collected high, but got to his feet and played the ball. Obviously, they've seen something in him going to the ground. Ex-Newcastle and ex-Rooster.
Yeah.
Rooster.
And Connor Watson. They've turned on him.
Different jersey.
Clune now, and Milford for Frizzell. Oh, he's been pushed towards the sideline. They've run out of space. And ball's gone over the touchline. And Tyson just tried to push that one out.
And it was right in front of a group of Rooster fans over there. We got very excited about that play. Very much sideways the moment at the Knights.
This is the Butcher incident. So he's been collected by Clemmer's shoulder. There was no obvious immediate sign of concussion, but the bunker has the advantage of being able to look at it for a longer period with a number of angles. So they've obviously identified something. There's Watson for Walker. Fifth leading point scorer in the season, Sam Walker. Oh, that was an odd one from Tedesco. I think he passed that and tried to unpass it. So they've turned the ball over again. This is most un-Rooster-like. Well, what we're used to seeing from the Roosters. They've been out of sorts for a number of weeks now, but penalties and errors, and they're gifting Newcastle a lot of possession.
They're defending well, though.
Yeah.
They're defending their mistakes. They haven't let it hurt them yet.
Played by Barnett. And Brayley with a run.
Good
He's
run.
up 13 metres. It's only his third game back from that Achilles injury too. Here's Clune away for Crossland and Milford and out for Tuala and now Edric Lee. Good tackle by Suali, but it's a penalty for a high shot.
Well, Victor Radley's come in late.
You have the option to challenge it if you
He
wish.
collected, I think it was Clune. I don't know if it was high, but it was definitely a little bit late. They're going to tap it.
Jared, let him up now. Goal line.
Can they get a reward for all this early ball here? 15 gone. It's been all Newcastle so far. Brayley. Well, that's bizarre.
Well, when they took the first goal, I think they were always under the impression the Roosters might give some penalties away tonight. And once you take the first, you set the trend for the night. Although they let the Roosters off there.
I think maybe the amount of possession they've had, Bradley, thinking that maybe they should have more points than they do.
You don't think you'd be losing confidence, though. The fact is they're not doing anything. They've hardly looked dangerous.
So, I mean, the Rooster defence has been good.
We've got some breaking news. Danica sideline.
Yes, unfortunate news for the Newcastle Knights. Kalen Ponga will not be back. He has failed his head injury assessment. You've got to feel for Ponga and the Newcastle Knights. He does have a pretty horrid history with head knocks. Going back just a few weeks ago, he did miss that week before Origin due to a head knock as well.
All right, Danica, that's a terrible blow. I mean, look, that's, on the face of it, that's innocuous, Brad, but when you have a history of head knocks, it doesn't take much, does it? As we're seeing Watson pull through the line. Keary in support. Crichton there too. Keary races away to score the first try against the trend. They get an opportunity with the ball and the Roosters split Newcastle from long range.
Well, the one bloke who hasn't been out there long enough to do enough tackles was Connor Watson, the ex-Newcastle player. He just simply went to the line with the ball in two hands. Beautiful show and go and accelerated, and off he went. I was surprised there were no Knights at the back to defend. Here he goes. Connor Watson just goes across field. Dane Gaggai's just looking at the ball. And on Harvey Norman replay, Luke Keary, and they actually bumped into each other enough time to readjust their lines. Not sure where the desperate defence was there.
Well, it's a nice little comeback, isn't it, for Luke Keary? He's had some worrying times while he's out injured, and even some question marks over his future career raised by people outside the club. But the inside the club, they've remained very, very confident that he'll bounce back. And I love the fact that he's playing in the left corridor tonight. That's his favourite position. Darren Lockyer.
You see Sam Walker should put this one over. The Knights probably were fatigued from having the ball too much. They didn't get any points. And that was the moment they had it. There we go. There you go, Walker over. And then the moment the Knights lost the ball, it was just the Roosters on top of it all.
Sydney Roosters 6 and NRL Newcastle Knights 2.
So Luke Keary, he's been out for a month and he gets involved there, backing up the break by the ever dangerous Connor Watson. First try of the night to the Roosters.
I don't think there's a better feeling for a football team early in the game to do a lot of defence and then come up with the first try. It gives you a really good feeling, and I'd expect that the Roosters will be running hard off the back of that success.
Well, at the moment, they're 48 tackles on top of the Knights in the possession. Where are we sitting at the moment?
66 to 34 in favour of Newcastle. See? You ask, we provide, Brad. There it is.
It's right down the bottom there.
Come look at the whole screen. And a nice little kick this by Keary. Plugs it into the corner. What's Milford going to do? He's just going to dive for safety.
That's his side of the field. I don't know why they ever moved him from the left-hand side.
Now this is tough going here. Trying to run your team out of trouble after a kick to the corner. Heimel Hunt had the first one. Gagai with the second. The Roosters rushing. The 15's Egan Butcher. So Nat's off. Egan's on. That's a good run. Inari Tuala gets them out near the 20 and over it now through Barnett.
Well, Joey spoke about that before the game, just getting to Sam Walker. Not necessarily for a break, but for a quick play of the ball.
They're going to kick from, gee, their own 20-metre line. They went nowhere on that particular set. Here comes Tedesco. And now Hutchison. Stopped by Brayley and Clemmer. Ball sent right to Walker. And now Suwali. 10 tries in his last 10 games for the youngster. What a future. Egan Butcher now. After 4 tackles, the Roosters nicely poised. Watson into the line. And Keary for Crichton. Excellent tackle around the legs. That was Adam Clune, but Tedesco runs the dummy half and kicks and chases. Off the post, Barnett cleans up. I reckon the uprights cost Tedesco a try there.
He's just everywhere, isn't he? He took the kick from the Knights. It looked dangerous on the first tackle. And here's the last tackle, jumps out of dummy half, puts in a grubber and hits the goal post. He just doesn't stop.
And there was no one there to help Tuala, who took the tap and wanted one of his big forwards. There was no one to give it to. He had to run it himself and got crunched. Here's Fitzgibbon now. For Clemmer, who keeps trundling away. Been playing on average over 60 minutes for the last couple of months, David Clemmer. And Daniel Saifidi this time. Around the legs, Watson, Radley up top. Brayley for Barnett, and Clune with a 4th tackle kick turns them around to the in goal. Tedesco's back there. He couldn't get his back. No, not even Tedesco can get out of this one. 4th tackle kick. And the dropout has been forced.
Love the early kick. Just puts the opposition on notice, puts the wingers on notice, keeps Tedesco behind the line in defence, tells him not to creep up too much. He got to that one, but they had him covered. short kickoff.
Another one. Brayley gets it.
Even if you don't get the ball back, the short line drop out is actually a good play. It catches the opposition by surprise, and your defence hasn't had to work hard to chase it.
Centre field, played by Saifidi. Clune for Milford. Here's Frizzell. Wrapped up by Watson. Verrill's part of the tackle as well. They're lined up out to the left here, Newcastle. Clune into the line. And Crossland and Tuala. Edric! Oh, he couldn't get down. It's a long way down from up there. Oh, it's a what's he said? Penalty.
Well, poor old Edric. If there's somewhere you want to throw him a pass, it's not down there.
Yeah.
That's a long way.
Oh, he's saying it's offside
I
because
think his ears popped halfway down.
offside penalty because Fitzgibbon came over and cleaned it up.
Well, they had too much time there. Sam Walker just couldn't get off his lead runner. They ended up with the easy overlap. And they just made the easy look hard. It was simply just put through the hands of Nara Tualis. You've got to be able to nail them.
21 tries in 20 games at this ground for Edric Lee. He jagged 5, a club record against the Titans in round 16. And if he wasn't 7'1", he might have got a try there as well. There's a good tackle. That's a dumper. Jaden Brayley with a solid shot on.
He can find a penalty, this old mate ref. He's got the radar out.
He's around Greaves. – 15 metres out. And Butcher, tackled by Crossland. 6 again this time. Watson, jinking. Clemmer there, and Barnett there, and Milford in late. Verrills, Fikiri, and Crichton backed into the defence. Gagai and Heimel Hunt combined to stop him. And Tedesco, he's going to evade. Tacklers again here, gives it back for Watson. And Butcher, oh, bounces twice. Oh, Edric nearly had it. Edric was nearly away. He left the ball behind. Instead, Tedesco was on the other side of the field. Suwali's going to score. Teddy picked it up on the left touchline and then gives the pass for Suwali on the right-hand side.
Well, I'll imagine the bunker will have a look at this, to look at the exchange as they wrestled over the ball. For me, it's a 50-50 ball, and Roosters ended up with it. But Edric Lee should have come up with the ball or come up with a good tackle. Harvey Norman replay. Starts with Tedesco over on the left. Comes along the line. A bit of a flick pass here. Walker's got to go back. Now this one here, they both contest it. And it ends up with the Roosters, and Tedesco and Suwali finish it off.
Well, you think he would have called a 60 again. Surely Edric Lee got his hands on it first before Momorowski pulls it off him. It was hardly great play by either side, and the Roosters just managed to finish it off like the Knights couldn't do down the other end. Just popped out the back. Walker passes with his back to the defence. The golden rule. And Teddy, he doesn't miss the 2-on-1.
Yeah, well, Tedesco went down a short blindside. There was nothing on there, and the Knights gave him plenty of time to get out of there. The ball's even thrown a bad pass with the ball hitting the ground.
He's there again. He's everywhere. He shoots the same bloke. Have they got a cardboard cutout of Tedesco?
Well, you just had 6 or 8 weeks with him in Origin, Bradley. Can you just explain the amount of work he gets through, not just in games but at training too?
He's just relentless. When you go through the play, and when he thinks about winning, he sort of just he puts himself in nearly every position to help out. There's a set of 6 there where we use as an example. where he touched the ball or was in the position to touch the ball every tackle, and then ended up tackling one of the Queenslanders on their goal line. It was incredible. He does that every set.
So Sam Walker, only 20 points behind the leading point scorer in the competition before tonight. That's Valentine Holmes. And that one is probably his worst kick of the season. Second try for the Roosters. And the young gun, Joseph Suali. He's batting at 100%. 11 games, 11 tries in 2022, and Radley's nearly through them. Danica Mason.
The good news keeps on coming for the Roosters. Nat Butcher has been cleared of his head injury assessment, and so he has just come back onto the field just a couple of seconds ago.
All right, Danica. Never met a Butcher who isn't tough, Gus. They haven't all got all their fingers, but they're all tough. Keary, big dummy. And Clune struggling to get hold of him here. Sam Walker. Hutchison trying to make a run towards the ball, and Anthony Milford, well, he's giving away a fair old height advantage at the back there, isn't he?
Yeah, and when he left home with his bag to go to the footy tonight, he wasn't thinking about taking bombs either. Probably thinking about some trick shots up there at number 6, but with Ponga leaving the field and failing his HIA, it looks like he's there for the duration.
Well, the last time he played a game in 2020, and he played a fair bit of 2019. That was for the Broncos at fullback.
Well, the one bit of good news for Anthony Milford is he's not playing against Matt Burton. Crossland kicking from inside the 40.
He's an interesting player, Phoenix Crossland. Just see what the Roosters do here. Teddy's always dangerous, but he came through as a bit of a boom halfback through the junior reps, and he's played every position but that for the Newcastle Knights. He's played hooker and dummy half and centre and lock and off the bench in small minutes and big minutes. Tonight, he's actually got 75 minutes in a halves position, so really interesting to see how he goes.
I wonder what Andrew has to say about that at half-time. Part of our panel tonight. Newcastle's greatest number 7. So another mistake here for the Roosters, who lead on the scoreboard, but I'm sure the coach, Trent Robinson, wouldn't be happy with what they've offered so far. Remarkable record, Trent Robinson. 250 coaching games with a winning percentage of 63.6. That is elite. Oh, Gagai. That was dangerous. He and Daniel Tupou have seen a lot of each other recently. Here goes Frizzell.
The problem with the Knights' attack is they would have went into the week, trained all week with Kalen Ponga. There's the drop ball. Mitch Barnett. And Kalen Ponga would have got all the good ball, and a lot of the plays would have come off him, and they would have had a mindset to get to a certain position to allow Kalen to do some brilliance.
This is one of the things in the game and coaching I don't understand. Because of a Victor Radley or a Jake Trbojevic or a Isaiah Yeo, now every team decides their lock forward's got to be a ball-playing halfback and do the same thing. And that just doesn't suit Mitch Barnett. I don't care what anyone thinks. He's an edge, hard-running forward who can break the line on his own. But as soon as someone has success with one model, it's amazing how often everyone now has to play like that. Like when James Graham came to Australia and started being a ball-playing front row, everyone wanted one of those. Now everyone wants a ball-playing lock. Some locks aren't ball players. Why get them to do it?
Here's Tedesco. He shows and takes off. Oh, had Suwali there. Couldn't get it to him. Edric Lee with a desperate tackle. The Roosters hunting up again here. Walker. Away for Keary. Back for Radley. Clemmer and Crossland bring him to ground. Only 3 metres out. They'll do well to hang on here, Newcastle. That might be 6 again, is it? Well, the referee let it go. The marker didn't look square. The referee had a good view of it, though. Out the back, Radley. Good tackle. Clune on Keary. Verrills for Sam Walker. He's kicking for his leaping winger. There's a couple of leaping wingers. Suwali gets it. Teddy's over for a try.
Well, Brad Fittler just got through telling us that he's always in position to get the ball. He doesn't always get it, but somehow he's always in position to get the ball. Walker doesn't hesitate. He kicks for his tall winger. Harvey Norman replay. Here's Tedesco making the break down the right. Had the chance of a little flick pass there, didn't look. But then a couple of tackles later, Walker says, where's my big boy? There he is over there. I'll kick up there. He gets over the top of the other big boy. And who's he find? James Tedesco.
Well, mind you, in amongst that, he also played the decoy on the right-hand side to take some defenders off the left side of the Roosters. Geez, they show some confidence in Joseph Suwali when you're sending kicks to go above Edric Lee. Like, they got a ladder out there. Darren Lockyer.
Having a conversation with the referee. He's still got enough breath to have a conversation with the referee. He's... I mean, we've been singing his praises, but it was just all too easy down that right edge. And he just always comes on the ball with speed, and that's what makes him so dangerous. That's what made him the break when he came onto the ball with speed, and then he put himself there to back up and make the play. So the last 2 tries really have come around James Tedesco.
He used his body beautifully here, didn't he?
Well, you're right there, Lockie, because when he gets the ball here, he accelerates. Like, everyone else is standing still. And somehow he just found the energy to be able to accelerate through the defence, and they pretty much just nearly gave up on it.
You know when you're playing golf and you hit a shank, you just hit a terrible shot, and then you stand over the ball for the next one? I wonder what Sam Walker's thinking here. His last kick was a horror. Went low and left and all over the place, and he's thinking, don't do that again.
What do you think?
Don't do that again. Good boy.
Conversion made by Sam Walker. The loss of just 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Sydney Roosters 16, leading by NRL Newcastle Knights 2.
The Roosters dominating here now. No Kalen Ponga for the rest of the game. A head knock early if you're joining us towards the end of this first half, and HIA ruling him out for the remainder of the match. Now earlier, really important win for St George Illawarra over Manly. 20 points to 6. The Sea Eagles missing a few because of COVID, namely Jake Trebojevic, but that was a very meritorious win by St George Illawarra. Ben Hunt actually scored the first 2 tries of the game, and Manly really rallied in the second half, but they had a lot of football, but the Dragons' defence held up very well, so that keeps them in the race for the finals. Here's Milford, nowhere to go.
I've got to say, the Roosters at one stage were 50 or 60 tackles in front of the Knights. And then all of a sudden you brought on Connor Watson, Egan Butcher, all these little blokes off the bench. And when I looked at the bench before the game, I thought, geez, I hope they get their fair share of the ball, the Roosters, or it might be a tough afternoon for Egan, but they've been the difference, those smaller, faster men off the bench. Been fantastic.
Well, the other difference is the missed tackles. All that possession that the Roosters had early, they only missed 2 or 3 tackles. The Knights have missed 24 tackles. We're only a half hour into the game.
Clune with a long kick, and Suwali. Look at that, broke out of the tackle of Barnett, gives it away to Tupou. And he's dragged down by Heimel Hunt in combination with Dane Gagai. He's there again, the teenager. Oh, he flicks it out the back before he got the real treatment, and Keary on the backup. So the 16 with the wild hair, that's Pasami Asolo. It's his 5th appearance of the season for the Knights as Radley goes over the halfway. And he's there again. There's a bit of Little Richard about the hairdo, actually. Here's Tedesco again. Teddy's carving them. He had Momirovski there. He didn't get it to him.
Well, Edric Lee put out his hand and grabbed Momirovski. He's lucky he didn't get pulled up for that.
Walker kicks for himself, and there's a race for the ball. Tuala gets back there and gets it.
Momirovski appealing now for the holdback.
No, this is a sin bin. Beautiful. Luke Keary goes to the line. Once again, there's James Tedesco supporting. Edric Lee grabs Momirovski.
Oh, gee, he was over if he got the ball.
Well, still more pressure for the Knights here. Lovely work by Keary. Dig into the line and get the offload.
Oh, Butcher, good hands. He aimed for the sideline with that one, Milford. But Nat Butcher's got all his fingers and he took it well. Even in the greasy conditions in Newcastle, Radley within 18 of the Newcastle line. They've got to turn them away here. They can't concede again before half-time. Crichton barrels into them, tries to get it around the corner, and it bounces away and ends up with Dane Gagai.
He couldn't help himself, Angus. It felt like everyone was having a bit of joy and thought he needed a little bit of his own. And the Roosters are only a tackle or two away from scoring another try. A little bit impatient there.
So Jacob Saifidi now. Both he and his brother, his twin brother, have scored Origin tries. Daniel got one last year and Jacob got one in his first game in the decider last week. Played by Saulo, couple out from the halfway. And Clune, oh, he got levelled late there. Yeah. And I'm not entirely unsure that wasn't high.
Contact on the kicker, mate.
No, he's hit him around the chest.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Time off. Is it high or low? Huh? High. Yeah. The timing's
I'm not sure what the
just
rules
about
are
it.
these
It
days.
does make eye contact.
They become very grey when you can actually hit the halfback or the kicker.
Just wait, time's up, just wait. No, time on.
Well, you can't be. You've got to have a leg on the ground.
Is that every game?
About to get that Victor square.
Crossland tackled well by Walker. The Knights with a chance to strike. Here's Saulo. He's been good off the bench last couple of weeks, actually. He's in a struggle with Watson there in the tackle. Ball goes to Crossland. Not a great pass by Brayley. And he had to stop and get that one. And so the momentum's broken. Tackle 4 for the Knights. Down the left-hand short side. Milford slips inside of Momirovski. Can't beat the tackle of Watson, who's been very busy in defence. Crossland, oh, Barnett's the last tackle. He got a kick at Phoenix. It's knocked back. And Crossland tried to pick it up in one hand, and the Roosters have got it. But it's a knock-on off Newcastle. He must have known it was the last tackle there.
But again, they've defended their error. They gave away the penalty for the tackle on Clune, and they've still muscled up around their in goal and made the tackles they had to make. Plenty of desperation from the Roosters.
Yeah, great tackle, Victor. There's no one behind there. Crossland should have picked that up, but the desperation once again. I think Milford's the one. He looks lively at least. I think somehow getting the ball to him. They're in a good position.
It's a worry for Kalen Ponga, isn't it? Because It didn't look like that too hard a knock tonight. That he's failed the HIA, and it's left this man at the back, Anthony Milford, very early in the piece.
Knock on by Radley. The Knights scrambling to form a scrum to have one last play.
Okay, time off.
It's been an interesting half, hasn't it? Knights dominating possession early, coming up with nothing. Roosters with 3 quick tries, but in between all that, there's been a lot of raggedy football. I don't think either coach is going to be that impressed when they get in at half time.
Just stay in. Ball in. Ball in.
Last throw at the stumps for the Knights. Half-time looming. Clume with a kick. Gagai's after it. Teddy's going to beat them all. Put him in the Olympics.
Well, there's 3 of him. It's now official. There's 3 Tedescos out there.
They're all wearing Teddy masks. So half-time, the Roosters in command here in Friday night footy in Newcastle. They lead the Knights 16-2, 3 tries to nothing.
There's the man right there, the MILF.
Put him at the ball point. Anthony Milford. Where is he?
One of the
There he is.
He's just at the back, just surveying everything that's going on at the moment. He's enjoying being back there. It's been a couple of years since he's played fullback.
You think he's enjoying being back there?
He's loving it.
You reckon?
Loving it. Look at that face.
Are you sure?
Look at that.
Well, I love Ampol and I love the question, but if they think one player's going to turn this around for them, they're kidding.
Well, you're making up your own questions now.
Yeah, this is going to take a collective
multiple.
effort. This is going to take a collective effort. They need all 13 on deck, all pushing in the one direction. One player's not going to turn this around.
Question, mate?
Eh?
They won't fit in the A, B, C or D.
No, I said I love Ampol, but one bloke isn't going to fix it.
Maybe the question should have been, is Anthony Milford loving being back there?
Let me make the questions next time.
Yes, that's fine. It's your gig now.
Milford's 11.
How's one player going to turn this around?
Well, my other question was going to be, Edric Lee has the longest legs in rugby league since whom? Finish this sentence. I can't think of anyone with longer legs that has ever played.
Phil Mann.
Paul Hoff.
Paul Hoff. He was the only other one I thought of. Phil Mann.
Phil Mann.
Well, that's going to get the punters talking at home. They'll be throwing names around the lounge rooms all over the country.
The difference was Phil had muscle on his legs. The other two were more bone and skin.
I remember watching a test match. Might have been Paul Hoff's test debut. They kicked everything along the ground because he couldn't bend over, and he missed everything. Everything went between his legs. One of the great cult figures of the game, Paul Hoff. He's fallen off his lounge, Gus, hasn't he?
He has old Clip-Clop. Clip-Clop Hoff. He's a good player.
Oh, yeah.
Played in some great Bronco teams.
Oh, he nearly got that back in, Eddie. With his big long legs.
It was nearly in the Andrew Johns bar. He didn't really got that back.
Light beer only up there in the Andrew Johns bar. So Egan Butcher. Well, they rate him at the Roosters, Egan Butcher. Big future. He's one of a few of the young brigade coming through. Terrell May's in the lineup tonight. We haven't seen him yet. Radley Fakiri and Tedesco. Here's Momirovski pinning the ears. He gives it away now to Suwali. Oh, he beat the tackle and almost got his legs over, but not the ball. Radley out in front of Butcher. Radley backing up. He couldn't catch it, and if he did, he would have scored.
Yeah, well, I've got a question mark on the first pass. He hesitated early. They just run Joey Suwali into the sideline here, but somehow he manages to stay in and nearly score the try. That one looked forward. And with Frizzell's desperation, a little bit of attention, Victor drops the sitter under the post.
Danica Mason.
Yeah, just a message from the Newcastle sheds at the break. Adam O'Brien, the coach, by all reports, he was very calm. His message to his team, they've got to get back to their attacking structure, and just overall, he wants them just to be better.
Here comes Jacob Saifiti. Rayleigh has Barnett. He's still playing that passing lock roll. Just doesn't like it. Frizzell tackle. Ooh.
Well, there's some real shoddy stuff going on here.
They focus more on Jaden Brayley than anyone else. The Roosters are doing a nice job just inviting him out and getting him off balance a little bit, Jaden Brayley. But
well, yeah, they're one of the truly professional clubs in the league, aren't they, the Roosters? It doesn't matter who you are or whether you're a rookie or a 300 gamer, they've got you worked out and they're working on you. Doesn't always mean they win, but they don't leave a stone unturned. They just don't take anything for granted. What do they used to say, Bradley? ABC?
Assume nothing, believe no one, confirm everything.
That's it.
Nice.
I didn't think you were listening.
You assumed.
I assumed.
Ball played to Verrills. Keary first receiver. Walker wrapping around Tedesco. He cut at Hutchison and went to Tupou, who's wrapped up by Gagai and Clune. There we go, back the other way now. Watson to Keary. And Radley underneath. Saulo and Barnett drop him to the ground. 16 short, centre field. Walker, Tedesco throws a big dummy. And he's wrapped up in a good tackle. Clune again. They're asking plenty of questions of the Knights' number 7 in defence. Kick over the top. Crossland's got it.
It was a strange kick, Sam Walker. Just didn't quite get enough across the defenders to open some space up. So he went for the little chip just over the first line of defence. Edric pulls through a tackle.
Well, Victor Radley just lost his radar there. He was on the wrong runway.
Clune with a threatening dash, but he was tackled nicely by Butcher. Whoa, here comes a Milford special. Made it look easy at the back there. Suwali pushed off Barnett.
How long is Suwali going to be content to play on the wing? Obviously, they've got Tedesco at fullback, but surely he's itching to have a go at the back himself.
If you have a look at most players that come through at his age, you go from the wing to the centre. And then possibly fullback. But I've got to say, playing wing allows him to get so involved. And he seems to enjoy the contact and bringing the ball back out of trouble. So at the moment, I'd be happy to leave him on the wing. Lockie.
As we see them go down the short side there, just see how this plays out.
Yeah, we'll just stay here for 1 sec and we'll get back to you, Lockie, as Keary pings a high one up. It's a one-on-one competition and Tupou wins that every day of the week.
Just watch the interchange of passing over on the far side to keep this ball alive. Watch Jared Rhea-Hargreaves fake to try and catch it, to let the ball go past him. And then watch Keary set up and kick this to the exact height where it can come down in front of Tupou. Now watch the interchange of pass. Harvey Norman replay. On the ground, up, up, up. Watch Jared. I'll try to, no, I'm not going to catch it. I'll leave that. I don't want it on tackle 5. Keary sums it up, gives him the perfect time and weight. Up goes Tupou. Brilliant in the air and runs around to score the try. That's just marvellous skill and awareness, and you know, a lot of that you don't even coach.
So 6 tries in his last 6 games against Newcastle for Daniel Tupou. And poor old Heimel Hunt, playing his first game of the year, was never in the frame there.
Well, it'll be amazing that you'll leave only one person to defend Daniel Tupou in the air. It shows how good the other bloke is, Joseph Sawali.
But it's just brilliant from Keary that he took his time to get the exact kick. He said, now Daniel's over there. I'll just get this right in his path. He'll go up one-on-one with his opponent and he'll come out the other side. It was just precise. But when the play started, that was probably the last thing on his mind. They were going down the right-hand short side. He's a marvellous player. Let's hope he stays healthy and no more injuries.
Conversion attempt by Sam Walker was successful. 31.5 minutes remaining in the second half. Sydney Roosters 22, leading NRL Newcastle Knights 2.
Beautiful to watch Daniel Tupou's aerial precision and a lovely kick which set it all up from the boot of Luke Keary, who's enjoying his return. He's had a wonderful game. Maria Hargreaves sent back out there. And a mistake. Darren, we interrupted you before.
Well, maybe this could be the turning point or the momentum shifter for the Knights that they need. I was going to go back to the Sawali discussion around him playing fullback, as we see the error here from JWH. Just a little bit of a loose carry there. But I remember Anthony Michello, he did his time on the wing for a long time till he came to fullback and was a brilliant fullback for the Roosters. I think both Gus and Freddie would have been a part of the club then. But I think you learn your trade, and he's obviously learning his trade from the best in James Tedesco. So he's just seeing it from a distance at the moment, but he is an athlete and a footballer.
And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck spent a lot of time on the wing while Minicello was fullback. So it seems to be the progression at the Roosters.
Here's Crossland. No, nearly through a hole. Walker around the bootlaces. Let's see if the Knights can jag one here. Got to bring the Newcastle faithful into the game. They are passionate. See if they can jump on the backs of the players and offer some support. Here goes Barnett. And Butcher and Maria Hargreaves combine to defend him. And Saulo. I can't put him on the turf. Nat Butcher in there. Brayley and Crossland and Clune. And Keary read it like a book. Last tackle. Milford. Can't find the end goal, and they can't tackle Tupou. Milford's missed him as well. Tupou races back and gets past the 20.
Brilliant.
That'll be 30 missed tackles now for the Knights. Everyone, it was the effort from Sam Walker on the other side that saved the try. And Phoenix Crossland nearly beat him. A little bit of desperation from the Roosters. And Tupou ended up making it look easy on the other side of the field.
And Fitzgibbon's in an awful lot of trouble here with that shoulder. He can't get full use of that arm, and they run straight at him. It's a brave effort to be out there. I'm not sure for how much longer he will be, though. Keary. Up she goes. Momorovsky's there. And is he taken out Suali? No. They said it was okay. And here goes Inari Tuala. The NRL's free-to-play game Pick'em is back. There's your answer. He's off the ground. Fitzgibbon. Just pick the winning margin from 4 selected matches to win a share of the $100,000 weekly prize. Head to nrl.com/pick'em right now. Frizzell.
Well, Brodie Jones has gone on. and Lachlan Fitzgibbon has come off.
All right. So Jones. Oh, and Tuala's lost it. Suwali picks it up. He came back in the first grade last week off the bench, Brodie Jones, but prior to that we hadn't seen him in the NRL since round 8. He's been a regular for a couple of years until that period out. Now here's Maria Hargreaves again off an inside pass. Well, there were 2 in the tackle.
He was unlucky there. Jaden Brayley was just wrapped around his feet, and I think the referee held. But he caught him off guard. Barnett.
Barnett was watching. He thought that Brayley let go.
I'm assuming he called held.
ABC. You see what the Roosters can come up with here. I wouldn't say they've been clinical. They've been as good as they've had to be. Connor Watson provides a lot of energy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's been tremendous. Jones and Sorlo in defence there. They're closing in again. Momirovski, quick hands on. Beautiful football. Another try for the young gun. A second for Joseph Suwali. And with quite some time left on the clock here, this is threatening to get very ugly for Newcastle.
Yeah, well, I asked for clinical and we got it straight away. They just took them to the near post, set up on a wide blind side there, counted the number of defenders, 1, 2, 3, 4, just ran their little play, and beautiful quick hands from Tedesco. Harvey Norman replay on to Hutchison. Lovely. No, sorry, it's Momirovski. Brilliant. Darren Lockyer.
Now just watch the angle of Butcher too, because he comes on that angle and he comes at speed. That's what draws the defence in, and then Edric Lee, he comes in off his wing, knowing that they've decided to jam, and it's all because of Butcher's run, and then obviously the skill from Momirovski to get the ball on to Suwali. Sam Walker's got a tough one here, but geez, they're out to a good lead now, the Roosters.
Yeah.
Now, James Tedesco was able to get a lot outside Mitch Barnett, which gets Phoenix Crossland interested, which causes the overlap on the end. As soon as James Tedesco saw the front row or middleman at a defender, at that first defender, he realised he could put pressure on Crossland. And then you got an overlap, and then it comes down to execution. Momirovski, the beautiful tap on. And I don't think I've seen Suwali mess one of them up this year. So that was clinical. Saw the opportunity, saw the big defender at A.
He's yet to land an NRL hat-trick, Joseph Suwali.
Certainly tonight.
Walker, better strike, but not quite accurate enough. Teenager. What a weapon already, Joseph Suwali. So 26-2. The Knights have failed to score a try 3 times already this season. Are they on track for a 4th? We've got a poll running on our Twitter page at NRL on 9. Will the Roosters play finals this year? Bearing in mind that they are in the 8 with a victory. That result earlier, the Dragons getting the money, is quite favourable to the Roosters. And they're well in command here. So head to Twitter at NRL on 9 and we'll flash the results up. But they do have a hard run. Manly away, Broncos home, Cowboys away, Storm away. Part of their run towards the finals.
They're playing in the Gotcha for Life Cup next week against Manly.
Milford. Oh, he shrugged Momirovski away. That's better.
There's my answer to the Ampol question.
It's 26-2.
But he's 11.
Edric Lee now. Stopped by Crichton and Keary. Here's Jaden Brayley. Away to Adam Clune. Now Dane Gagai.
They're just swarming in, the Roosters. They've come with a real defensive mindset tonight. I know they've scored some nice tries, but it's the other side of the scoreboard where they've been really impressive.
And this last 20 minutes is going to be the deciding of whether they compete with the teams up the top of the ladder. It's how their attitude is right now and how they complete this game.
Well, they've put pressure on kickers on tackle 5. They've given away a couple of penalties, but they still keep going after them. They're really at the Newcastle players in defence and giving them no room. I don't think they came worrying about where the points were going to come from. They just worried about stopping them, and they've done it brilliantly. Good player, this kid, Egan Butcher.
Yeah, long stint. Came on earlier than you may have thought. But
I think he's an 80-minute player. I think he's a real player of the future. I like him.
Started out for South as a 5'8", played a bit of centre, then went into the back rows, got bigger. Played in all the pathways teams.
Started out for Souths. Now he's with the Roosters. Another one.
It's funny, you know, that's where all your best NRL forwards come from. All your back row forwards, anyway. They come from playing 5'8s and centres in younger grades. They have athleticism and speed and a bit of footwork. It's a good place to find your future back rowers, looking at nice big young outside backs.
Can't believe Ryan Madison was a 5'8", can you? Looking at the size of him.
Well, that's what happens. Some of them even come into first graders as backs, but later graduate through to edge forwards. Not much difference between the two these days, I guess.
Here's Frizzell. He's given every effort once again, as he always does. Clune. Kick for open space. Awkward bounce. The Walker back there cleaning up. And he's tackled by the man who put the kick over the top in Clune.
Whoops.
Tupou shoved back here. Now, North Queensland versus the West Tigers up in Townsville. There won't be a seat available at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Their team is flying, and it's a 300th NRL appearance for James Tarmo, who of course is a premiership winner with North Queensland. So there's plenty of incentive for the locals to turn out and to tune into Sunday footy here on 9, thanks to Chemist Warehouse.
The question to James Tarmo on radio the other night was, who was the first player to play 300 games? He was also a front row.
Yep.
Just on the 20, on the 30 there.
He didn't know. I told him if he got the question right, the NRL gave him a car. He missed out on the car. Do you know who it was, Matt?
Jeff Gerard.
Who also started out as a centre. Ended up as a front rower.
Played for Penrith, Freddie.
Parramatta.
He played in my first games, Jeff Gerard.
Did he really?
Yep.
Wow.
You'd have been coached by Jeff Gerard too, wouldn't you?
I've got a good story there. He hated me.
What? He hated you?
Yeah. Gus dropped me.
Well, why did he hate you? Oh. Obstruction?
Go, Dane, go.
Oh, we
Whoops.
got back chat.
Who's going?
I don't know.
It's the second time to sit. He's spraying me, swearing at me
Jake.
well over there.
Oh,
I'm not
Gagai.
going to tolerate that.
Oh, gee, the wheels are falling off here.
Well,
Jared.
Brandon Smith got 3 weeks for dissent. He said that was the second time Dane Gagai's given him a gobful.
It was a long way from the play too, wasn't it?
Must have been giving him full ball. So, sorry, can you take us through this? Jeff Gerard hated you because Gus dropped you. So,
So my alarm didn't go off one night. I set my alarm wrong. I got to training.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're playing Parramatta, and as I got to training, Gus said, beat it, you're in reserve grade. So I played half a game, and Jeff Didn't think I was that committed.
Oh, right.
At half-time, Gus came in and said, come back to first grade. Jeff Gerard told me to beat it as well.
All right.
He got dropped to first grade.
Here's Walker. Here's Tedesco. Oh, yeah! Teddy with a bit of magic.
Stop it.
I didn't think his arm was that long.
Stop it.
Everything to do with James is short and
Well, watch this.
stumpy.
Harvey Norman replay. Watch this. There's nothing on Newcastle there. They're down on trip, so they'll race up here to get to Tedesco. So he's got to run. He dummies and run. Well, that's the end of that. And he does a little loop-the-loop round the corner. That was brilliant.
Well, it's the only thing he hasn't done tonight. He thought, I may as well try one of these. Goes right to the position where the man had just been sent to the sin bin, Dane Gagai to right centre. He's got Clune, the ball in two hands, commits him.
With good grip.
Oh,
Wow.
Daniel Tuber is laughing on the way down.
Lovely try.
207 running metres, 49 post-contact for James Tedesco. 2 try assists, 1 try. He's going okay. There's a good view. Oh, that's freakish.
Well, the good thing was they didn't push it. Newcastle were doing a pretty good job defending that. And they just never pushed it. And when James Tedesco realised he'd get behind Clune, he thought, you know what, I'm having one of those nights. But no one before tried to outplay what was in front of them. They just left it up to the maestro. This could go anywhere. He could hit himself here on the scoreboard.
Gee, that'd be a big kick, Freddie.
He could. He could.
to support your NRL Newcastle Knights.
The Roosters bag their 6th try, and we've got just less than 18 minutes to go. This is hard viewing for the Newcastle faithful. They're being blown away here. Well, the Roosters play finals this year at NRL on 9. The results, 63% yes, 37% no. So those on Twitter are backing the Roosters to get through that difficult run towards the playoffs that, as I mentioned, includes Manly, Brisbane, Cowboys and Storm. That's where they are at the minute, our live ladder, so in 8th position. Pretty handy for the for and against tonight. Here's Crichton running onto it, Radley backing up. A good effort from Heimel Hunt to make the tackle in chase from behind. Here's the last.
This is looking very dangerous.
Well, it's hit the ground in no man's land. And it's been tapped back pretty nicely. And Milford's going to... Oh, Milford! Momirovski thought he had it. And Crossland really wishes he didn't pass that.
Yeah, the good thing is the Roosters haven't dropped their intensity. Even then, chasing the fullback, Milford, Momirovski just went up hard enough just in case the ball come his way. It's good mindset.
Yeah, well, it's not the time of year to drop your intensity, is it? You want to be getting better every week from here on in.
Oh,
good take. Catch that. Have another run, James. As though he hasn't done enough already.
bit of breaking news. Danica Mason
Yes, we did see Lachlan Fitzgibbon go from the field moments ago for the Newcastle Knights, clutching his shoulder. Unfortunate news for him, he won't be back tonight. He's re-aggravated a shoulder injury he's had in the past and is in a fair bit of pain. So his night is over. And just a quick update on Kalen Ponga. Speaking to the Newcastle Knights officials, they say, understandably, he's sitting in the sheds watching this game. He's very shattered and very dejected. So our thoughts to Kalen Ponga, who suffered that head injury in the first half.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Danica.
He's just got to take a bit of time, doesn't he?
I wonder whether they even consider giving him the rest of the season now. They're not going to make the finals. Try and get their prized recruit right. Only got a forward pass here.
Well, I reckon there was 3 or 4 forward passes then.
Yep.
There was 1 in the tackle before, and there was definitely 2 in that set. Seeing Walker just sneaking up over the advantage line. Remember when they started that Brett Kamali, that flat style under Chris Anderson? I remember when Chris Anderson came to the Roosters. There's James Tedesco, 219 metres. All Roosters. And he used to encourage you to stand over the advantage line in front of the ball, so the person who was actually picking the ball up and passing would move forward to pass it to. Nearly every pass was forward, but they won a competition on the back of that.
Daniel Saifidi squeezes an offload out. Knock on.
They just look a little bit bedraggled, the Newcastle Knights, don't they?
That's one word for it.
They're kind of looking up at the clock and thinking, "We'll go faster." They're going to challenge this.
Captain's challenge. That will be tackle 5.
Terrell May on the
Jaden
sideline looking
challenging
to
the
come into the
offense
action.
Knock on the ground.
Unless he knocked it on the ground, I didn't think the pass was a knock on.
Well, I thought Jaden Brayley might have bobbled it. Let's look a little bobble here.
Jaden Brayley makes contact with his right arm. The ball then spins under his arm and goes in a forward direction. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, Gus invented the bobble, so that is the quintessential bobble, Gus.
And the bedraggle.
And the bedraggle, yes.
You just saw both of them.
Bobble's now in the dictionary, I think.
Yeah, it is.
The Rugby League dictionary.
Lockie?
Yeah, just on the Knights, at half-time, Adam O'Brien said he wanted them to get into their attacking structure, but I think that's a bit of their problem. They're getting into too much structure. They're not playing any football off the back of any momentum. And I think, if you can create some ruck momentum with some plays and then get the little guys to play off the back of that with eyes up footy, I think they're going to be better served doing that in Newcastle. But at the moment, they're getting into their structure, but they're not doing it with any intensity, and it's not effective.
Well, Joey pointed out once again at the start of the game, get to Sam Walker and get some quick play the balls. Early in the game, they had Milford running at Luke Keary and had attackers running at Luke Keary. They just couldn't persist with it. And when the Roosters held him out for so long, they just lost all spirit, and that was the end of them.
There goes Paul Momirovski. The magic of the Premiership is that it is real. 16 teams all chasing the same dream of Premiership glory. And you should experience the Premiership live. Get your seats. NRL.com/tickets is the place to go.
Gus, you saw South Sydney last week. What'd you make of them?
Yeah, adequate. Brilliant in attack. Not so great in defence.
Here's Terrell May.
They've got the triple X factor at the back, haven't they?
Last tackle, Anthony, a step.
It probably lives and dies with him.
Keary for Walker. Slick hands. That's a beautiful pass by Walker. That was in and out in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, he wouldn't even have fingerprints on this. This was just, again, clinical. And Angus Crichton has been looking for this run all night. He's threatened to get through a number of times. He's threatened to get an offload. But this time, Harvey Norman replay. Lovely touch. Crichton just too athletic. Back. Look at that left foot step back on the inside. He's a big man too, but he gallops strongly.
That's being in your structures. He's not overrunning the ball. He had every opportunity there, Angus Crichton, to get in front of Sam Walker, but just gave him just enough time, as Gus said, just to get it through his hands without barely touching it. Watch this. In and out. Doesn't overrun it. He's onside. Breaks the Frizzell tackle. Lockie.
Yeah, well, they've been smart ever since Gagai's been off. They just keep coming, pepper that left edge, and Crichton's he's come alive in the last 10 minutes, and he gets a reward with the try. But once again, the Newcastle Knights outside defence, one guy going in, one staying out. They're just not on the same page. You see here, they're a bit short of numbers, so Clune comes out, and then the winger had to follow him in, Hunt, but he didn't, and the space was created.
That's another thing I noticed, actually. Sam Walker's wearing number 7.
Yep.
Just on 11 minutes remaining in the second half. City Roosters 36, Newcastle Knights 2.
So Dan Gagai readying himself to return. They rattled up a half century against the Dragons last week, and they could be on course to do it again. That's 90 points, in fact, in their last 2 appearances for the Roosters, and we've got just over 10 minutes remaining here. Butcher. So just reiterating what we've been saying, their next 6 games, it's not an easy run by any stretch.
Look out.
Tedesco. Who's in front of him? No one. Walker around the corner. Egan Butcher, if you don't mind.
Well, we called this as soon as Tedesco was in the area again. You could just see that if they got the offload to him, he would pull through some flimsy defence. And in a couple of tackles, the Roosters are in again. Straight through the middle of the field, offload, a dart through the gap, and then some nice play on the back of it. Matt Lodge gets the offload. Tedesco, step, and he's gone. Connor Watson, Sam Walker, and Egan Butcher. Harvey Norman replay, brilliant Roosters try, right up the middle of the field.
A nice offload by Lodge. That's a hard tackle. James Tedesco through there. Look at that tight jersey. The sweat coming off his body. Jaden Brayley in the background. Very disappointed. And there's Roosters across the whole field. To the right's Butcher. Connor Watson screaming out on the right side touchline if someone wanted to kick it. They were flooding the Newcastle backfield, all sweating on a try. It ended up being the young middle player, Egan Butcher, started as an outside back, and he showed why. Great support.
I said about 10 minutes ago, this is looking really dangerous. I think the score was around 22 at that stage. And they've just gone bang, 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 bang.
After the final whistle, we've got a huge edition of Macca's Golden Point coming your way. We'll find out who wins the Macca's Player of the Match. We're sending Lockie into the winners' sheds, and back by popular demand, the Friday Five. The panel whipped through 5 topics in 30 seconds each, and we're going to ask Cam and Joey who might be the Kangaroos halfback. Just a blue and a maroon debating that one, and I can imagine Andrew Johns will have a bit to say about this performance by Newcastle. 42-2, and just under 9 to go. There might be a few more tries in this yet, the way things have been running.
So we go through there, mate. We saw the next 6 games. If you go down to the bottom, the Rabbitohs at home. That'll be at Allianz Stadium, the new Allianz Stadium. Apparently the grass was being laid today.
Right.
The first of the grass was being laid today on the new Allianz Stadium. Looks beautiful, the new grandstand. Looks a lot like the Optus Stadium in Perth, actually.
Can't wait to get there. Big festival of sport to launch the new ground in 6 weeks' time or so. Momirovski now. And he's tackled out there by Inari Tuala and helped by Jaden Brayley. A wonky old ball. Floating kick by Walker. And Milford takes it safely. Down to Lockie.
Yeah, when they scored the last try, the Roosters, Freddie mentioned how many Roosters were backing up and following the football. This is when you're having fun, when you got the game in the bag, and then everyone is looking for a try in these last 8 minutes. So you just watch when the Roosters get the ball, how much they're all going to push up beside each other and hope they get a try themselves. Yeah, they played some really good football the last 20 minutes, and I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 more in them.
What was the most tries you got, Lockie?
3 was the most.
Edric for Crossland. Butcher can't get him. The Knights are going to score.
Yeah, nice little short side raid. And they get Edric League away. Sweeney's Crossland backs up beautifully on the inside. Harvey Norman replay. 4-on-4 down the short side, but the Roosters a little bit lazy on that occasion. Joala was able to get to outside of Momirovski and create 2-on-1, and then they executed brilliantly. Just a little bit lazy out of marker. Momirovski held up, doesn't make his ground. Edric Lee gets the overlap. Phoenix Crossland backs up well on the inside.
There was a flat pass from Inari Tuala to Inari Tuala that allowed him to get to the outside of Momirovski. He caught Momirovski off guard. Just gave him that little bit of space needed to slip past the tackle. And they were able to finish it off this time.
So Anthony Milford is going to link up with Wayne Bennett once again. Be interesting to see if the master coach can get to the bottom of his immense talent at the Dolphins. Sunday afternoon, we are off to Townsville with the Cowboys taking on the West Tigers live from Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Don't miss the Chemist Warehouse Sunday kickoff from 3 p.m. and then, of course, the massive clash at 4 o'clock. It's all here on your home of NRL footy, Nine's Wide World of Sports. It'll be a great atmosphere. They love their footy at any time, but when the Cowboys are flying, it is a special place to be at the North Queensland home ground. I remember going to the old Cowboys stadium when they were winning all those games in that great year with the Broncos, and it was electric. And the new stadium, they make a hell of a noise. Every reason to be excited. North Queensland at 2nd, Brisbane 4th. A different scenario to the one the Queensland teams faced last year. You couldn't have thought they'd have 2 in the top 4. The way they were going last year, the Queensland clubs. Incredible turnaround. 6 again, here's Clemmer.
What a joy it would be to play up there this time of year.
Yes.
How nice would it be?
Get around the speedos, Freddie.
As long as you put on the good old rule that if you don't win, you don't go out, you'd be fine.
Not too many teams are going up there and winning this year. Here's Edric now. Under 5 to go. Milford away to Clune. Right foot step, tries to duck into a hole. It was closed by Watson and Butcher. That's the 10-metre line. This is Jaden Brayley running from dummy half, and he tried to stretch out. Oh, did he get it on the? He didn't get it on the line. Saulo couldn't have gone any closer without scoring. Clune misses his target. Ball at the back. Still the last. Dane Gagai is going to have a kick of it. He's a left footer, and he thought about it. Then he gives the pass. So they've got an overlap. They're going to score another one. Edric. He gets it over. See, if the game was 20 minutes longer, they might make a comeback.
Once again, Phoenix Crossland comes up with the money ball, just draws enough defenders in to make it the easy 2-on-1 on the end for Edric. We took on Joseph Sawali, who's taken a lot of players out this year on the Harvey Norman replay. Misdirected pass. Gagai comes across. He gets Sawali sitting back, so it looks like he's going to kick the ball. And Phoenix Crossland draws in Angus Crichton, which allows the easy 2-on-1. And pretty brave, old Edric. He's nailed some this year, Joseph.
He's a beauty, Edric Lee. Longest leg since Phil Mann.
Yeah, he did well, Gagai. He thought about kicking, but then some peripheral vision. He saw they had an opportunity, and Phoenix Crossland did his job. And a nice finish from Edric Lee, who does know how to find the try line. Not only is he tall, he's big. Big barrel chest, and he's a big, big man.
We spoke about the back end of the game, Gus. What do you think of the Roosters the last 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's hard to be grim when you don't have to be. I would have thought that there was some merit in trying to keep the Knights scoreless in this game, just to back up the way they started the first hour or so, but they probably dropped off a little bit. That time there was that try started with a bad pass to the right and the ball hitting the ground, and the Roosters have allowed them to outnumber them on the other side of the field, so that's not good.
Luke Keary and Jared Rawia-Hargreaves will be talking to us post-game. Lockie's heading into the sheds. A happy place to be tonight, the Roosters sheds.
There's a fair bit of the salary cap sitting on the bench too, I suppose.
Yeah. Crossland now and Tuala.
They've actually threatened them down that left-hand side a few times, haven't they, late in the game?
Good Boyd Cordner. Good headphones on.
So Barnett and Tuala and Edric Lee.
And they got around them easily again. The right-hand defence for the Roosters has now been threatened 4 or 5 times.
They've moved Angus Crichton to the centres and Momorowski to the wing. That's Sam Walker, that third defender.
Clune runs himself. Oh, solid shot. That was Lodge along with May. And they didn't get organised at marker. Oh, he dashed Brayley. He dashed for the prize and they chopped him down. 6 again. Clune, Milford. Tackled by Suali, but he was able to pass it to Dane Gagai. And, oh, he creeps very close to the line too. And it's a penalty.
Just wait. Okay, Joe, we got a captain's challenge from the Roosters. Challenging the on-field decision of ruck interference.
So the referee's ruled ruck interference, but there was a hand in there that's knocked the ball away.
Terrell May puts his hand in to play the ball. The challenge is
It
unsuccessful.
looked pretty obvious. Who challenged that?
Just wait, Jaden, wait. Yep, time on, hold.
That's nearly as bad as a cricketer challenge. I swear to God.
Frivolous protest.
Frivolous protest.
Let him up now, Terrell, Matt. Square mark and don't go to David. Otherwise,
Brayley, ducking, weaving, trying, denied. Clune for Clemmer. Ooh.
That's a headbutt.
Long ball to Milford. Crossland. And it's knocked down there by Momorowski.
It's knocked down by Momorowski, but their right-hand defence again looked really vulnerable there. What happens here? Head nudge, head nudge, head nudge. And a bigger head nudge.
Now Butcher doesn't blink an eyelid. Let's get on with it.
As old Cliff Watson said one day, that's not a headbutt, lad. Cop this.
Milford for Crossland. Edric juggles, and over the sideline. Oh, penalty.
But they had them again. They stripped them again.
They couldn't break out of the scrum quick enough. We've got a few playing out of position at the moment.
They're shuffling, they're up, they're back, they're sliding, they're all over the place.
Last play of the game. The Roosters have been good tonight. The Knights disappointing as Heimel Hunt races for the line, and the Roosters come en masse. They stop him, and you can see they've enjoyed this. This is an important win for them.
You know, they set up the game with some brilliant defence in the first 25-30 minutes. Newcastle had a lot of ball. Roosters stayed strong, then came up with a couple of tries before half-time. They were far more clinical in the second half and really tore the Knights apart before a late flurry from the home side with a couple of tries. Good win by the Roosters.
Well, it didn't help the home team, the Knights. They lost their key, their gun, Kalen Ponga, early with a HIA. On the back of 43 missed tackles. All that pressure they built up early just disintegrated. The Roosters too good.
Roosters 42, Newcastle 12, 8 tries to 2. A very dominant win by Trent Robinson's team.